ठीक है, we were doing section 80 wherein I told you what is section 80. We were doing section 80 wherein I told you that what exactly section 80 80 means to say. एक सेकेंड, ये सारा इरेज कर देना चाहिए. ठीक है, we were doing section 80. I told you that section 80 provides for accident. Accident के बारे में provide करता है. So I told you what section 80 has to say for us and what exactly it means and etc etc. We went across a various we went across a few examples in section 80. First, we understood the ingredients of it. It has to be done by any act which is done by lawful act, lawful means, lawful manner, proper care and caution, no criminal intention, and as an accident or misfortune will be exempted under section 80. Okay. So now I told you the most important thing in this. Now this is clear: lawful act and lawful manner. That you need to understand what exactly it means. So we went on to discuss a few examples. One such example was if a person tries to steal. And if a pickpocketer, he slides his hand in a pocket of a particular person and he finds a loaded gun. In that case, he presses the trigger of that gun. Ultimately, the person dies. So what will be the liability of the person? Will he get the defense of section 80? Now, for this, you need to understand what exactly lawful act and lawful manner they are trying to say. So here I told you that there has to be actually casual, nahi hai, causal. You guys were right. There has to be a causal connection. There has to be a causal connection between the act committed, between the first act and the act through which the larger act. So there has to be a causal connection between first act and the larger act. So this was the first thing that we went on to understand. And I told you that you will have to examine lawfulness after examining the larger act. You cannot just examine the first act and you can consider that you cannot consider that this act is unlawful in nature. You will always have to examine larger acts. So for that, I also gave you an example that suppose someone with an unlicensed weapon tries to kill a jackal and accidentally shoots someone else. So in that case, I told you that having an unlicensed weapon is obviously an offense. But now he has shot accidentally. He wasn't having any intention. So now you'll have to see the second act. So I told you the second act is done in a proper manner and with proper care and caution. I don't think that in that case, he should be held liable. And that is the reason section 80 should be, the defense of section 80 should be given. Same way I gave you an example. Suppose a person is driving without license. So in that case, his car hits a particular person who is crossing the road. In that case, I told you that now he was driving in a proper manner, but just because he's not having a license, you cannot hold him liable. He will obviously he will be held liable for not holding the license, but you cannot hold him liable for the larger act. So I told you that whenever you are to view lawful act in lawful manner, you will view in light of the larger act. So आप हमेशा in light of larger act देखोगे कि larger act कैसा है, ठीक है, कि whether the larger act is lawful, whether the larger act is exactly lawful or unlawful, और ऐसे ही है. So आप ऐसे larger act के view पे देखोगे, and then only you will come to a conclusion whether he is entitled to the defense of section 80 or not. After this, we went on to understand section 93. इसके बाद 93 में गए थे ना, we went on to understand section 93, wherein I told you that the communication is in good faith. If the communication is in good faith, causal, casual नहीं, causal है. You guys were right. It is causal. It is not casual. It is causal. Okay, it's causal. ठीक है, it is causal.
सर दोनों में अंतर होता है?
हाँ, तो अंतर है. मतलब वैसे तो मैं अंतर नहीं समझ रहा था. जब मैं पढ़ा रहा था तो मैं ये इसी सेंस से पढ़ा रहा था, बट अंतर है. दिस इज मोर ऑफ एन कॉज एंड इफेक्ट रिलेशनशिप. इसमें कॉज एंड इफेक्ट नहीं है. सो कॉजुअल, ठीक है, तो कॉजुअल उसको चेंज करके कॉजुअल.
So what is the spelling of causal?
CAUSAL, कॉजुअल. कॉजुअल हो गया ना, ठीक है. तो ये हो गया 93. फिर मैंने 93 आपको 80, and then we went on to understand 93, wherein we understood what is communication in good faith. So I told you what is communication in good faith. Communication in good faith is not an offense. If you are having in communication in good faith, that is not an offense. That has been provided in 90. 93. ठीक है. अब now next we will understand duress or compulsion. What is duress? Whether duress, what offenses can be duress? What are the offenses under duress and compulsion? That we will understand. That is section 94. यहाँ तक clear है guys? Is this clear? Till now it's clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. तो अब आ जाओ 94 पे. 94 में we will deal with duress and compulsion. Duress and compulsion. Duress and compulsion पे read करते हैं. Go to 94. Are you guys on 94? एक बार 94 पे आ जाओ. 94 पे हो?
Yes, sir.
Act to which a person is compelled by threat. एक second. Give me a second. एक second. So अब आ जाओ 94 पे. 94 पे acts to which a person is compelled by threats, except murder and offenses against the state, punishable with death. So except murder and offenses against the state, punishable with death. Nothing is an offense which is done by a person who is compelled to do by threats, which at the time of doing it reasonably causes apprehension that instant death to that person will otherwise be the consequence. Instant death to the person will otherwise be the consequence. That is one thing. Provided that the person doing the act not of his own accord or from the reasonable apprehension of harm to himself short of instant death, place himself is in the situation by which he became subject to such constraint. अब देखो, पहले तो ये समझो कि अब समझो ड्यूरेस तो है. A person is doing an act on threat. अब वो threat, that threat has to be a threat or fear of instant death, nothing else. So if the threat is say of grievous hurt, then he will not get the defense under 94. The important part that you need to understand that there has to be a fear of instant death. Death ka fear hona chahiye. So the important thing that you need to understand, when duress, there is duress. Duress is exercisable on account of fear of instant death. Fear of instant death. Now fear of instant death to whom? Instant death to whom? Instant death of himself. एक बार पढ़ो. Instant death of himself. So say suppose such a thing happens. A is a fellow. He has pointed a gun on B. ठीक है. और उनके सर पे बंदूक रख के बोला है कि you will have to steal money. Steal money. ठीक है. Pointed a gun on B's head and he has said that you will have to steal money. And B accordingly obliges. He steals money and he gives it to A. Now in this case, B will get the benefit of, B will not be held liable for theft because he performed the act in fear of instant death. And that fear was to himself. That death was supposed to be caused to himself. So B will not be held liable. B will get the defense under 94. But on the other hand, if such a situation happens that A has pointed a gun on the head of B's daughter, B की daughter के ऊपर सर पे रखी है गोली, and he has told him that if you do not steal, I will shoot her. Accordingly, what happened? B obliges, B steals, and he gives him money. Will B be entitled to defense of 94? Will B get the defense of 94? बताइए.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, because the wordings are clear, even they appear to be a little unfortunate or unjust, but the wordings are clear that there has to be a fear of instant death of himself. Himself means the person himself who is committing the act, usko hi. So two things that you need to understand here, that the fear should be instant to one's own self. Wait a second. So यहाँ तक clear हो ना? Wait, मैंने erase क्यों किया? ठीक है. So two things you need to understand, that fear should be instant. The first thing is that fear should be instant. That fear to one's own self. So fear should be instant death. Instant death of one's own self. Of one's own self. पहली चीज तो ये. And fear must be of instant death. Nothing short of instant death. So fear must be of instant death. Instant death. Nothing short of instant death. Nothing short of instant death. Instant death से कम नहीं. Instant death. For example, if the fear is of causing grievous hurt, if there is a fear of causing grievous hurt, then also defense will not be available. So fear must be instant, and fear must be death to one's own self. So fear must be of instant death. ठीक है? Now in two cases, the defense is not applicable. एक बार section ऊपर से पढ़ो 94. Are you guys on 94? फिर से आ जाओ 94 पे. एक बार except murder and the offenses against the state punishable with death. So in two cases, this defense is not available. So in two cases, there will be no defense. Two cases, there will be no defense. The first being murder. So in murder, there will be no defense. Second being when the offense is against the state and the offense is punishable against state, and it is punishable with death. Punishable with death. In that case, you will not get the defense under 94. For example, such a thing happens. A tells B that I will shoot you if you do not murder C. B accordingly obliges and murders C. In this case, B will not get defense under 94. The reason is because this defense is not available in the cases of murder. Fine, ये clear है ना?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Same thing happens if A tells B to actually wage a war against the state, and accordingly B obliges and he wages the war against the state. In that case also, B will not get the defense of 94 because this defense is not available in the cases of murder and offenses against the state. ठीक है? Yes sir, सिमरन बताइए.
सर इसमें क्या स्टैंडर्ड एक्सपेक्टेड है, लाइक एक रीजनेबल पर्सन को अगर अप्रीहेंशन है कि उसको मार दिया जाएगा इफ ही डज नॉट मर्डर XYZ पर्सन, तो सर फिर वो तो मार ही देगा ना उस केस के अंदर. मतलब हाउ वुड ही स्टॉप? मुझे इसका पर्पस नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि मर्डर को क्यों नहीं इसमें.
One, you cannot weigh one life for the another, no? How can a criminal law which is benefiting the society, which is for the purpose of society, is weighing one life for the other?
तो सर इस केस के अंदर दिस पर्सन वुड बी लायबल फॉर कल्पेबल होमिसाइड इफ ही डज सो, है ना?
He will, in fact, he can be liable for murder also if he has the intention to kill.
इंटेंशन तो
Okay,
ठीक
we
है.
will examine from his conduct.
ठीक है सर.
ठीक है. So this is the thing. So now one thing that you need to understand, if you read the proviso carefully, one thing you need to understand. Yes, Yezan, बताइए.
सर लेकिन मर्डर और कल्पेबल होमिसाइड के केस में भी ये मिटिगेटिंग फैक्टर की तरह तो काम कर सकते हैं.
मिटिगेटिंग तो कर सकता है कि मुझे दबाव था उससे, बट दे विल बी हेल्ड लायबल. ठीक है. अब आ जाओ. The important thing that you need to understand is the proviso. Proviso is the most important. See, what does proviso says? That proviso says that provided that the person doing the act did not on his own accord or from the reasonable apprehension of harm to himself, short of death, place himself in a situation by which he became subject to the constraint. First part, proviso ka first part. See, फर्स्ट पार्ट प्रोवाइजो का बोल रहा है कि सपोज सच अ सिचुएशन हैपेंस दैट इफ अ पर्सन इज बीइंग ओवर जीलियस, नाउ दिस पर्सन इज वेरी ओवर जीलियस, ठीक है, ओवर एक्साइटेड, ओवर जीलियस फेलो, there are bandits or there are ducats, B, C, and D. These guys are ducats. B, C, and D, and a few ducats. FP डाल दो चलो. There are these ducats. He goes to them, and he knows that these guys are ducats. He tells them, "I am good. I am very good in lock picking. I am the best guy in this town in lock picking. No one can. No one is better than me in lock picking, and I am the best guy. I will go along with you wherever you guys want." He does not tell them ki now here they haven't asked him that whether you will lock pick or not. He tells him that I want to come along with you guys, ऐसा करके. Ultimately, when he reaches at the crime scene and when these B, C, and D tell him that you will have to pick a lock, ये ताला तोड़ना है आपको, so he denies. So B says that B puts a gun on his head and tells him that open this door, otherwise I will open this lock, otherwise I'll kill you. Now in this case, this A is overzealous. He himself has put himself in that compulsion. So if he himself has put in that compulsion, then in that case this defense of 94 will not be applicable. So in defense of 94 will not be applicable. ठीक है, खुद ही जाके आप मर रहे हो, so why would the defense of 94 will be applicable to you? So the defense of 94 will not be applicable in such cases. In such cases, ठीक है. So that is one thing the proviso says, that if a person of his own accords is going towards the compulsion, then he will not get the defense. The important thing is that the compulsion is actually an external. आप खुद जाके नहीं गए हो कंपल्शन करवाने कि खुद मैं जाऊंगा and then I'll see. If A didn't know they were bad guys, then also no, then it is a different thing, ना? Then it's a different thing. ठीक है, ठीक है. So अगर खुद आप जा रहे हो, you are on your own accords, you are just going there, staying with them, and you are being a part of that gang, and ultimately when that gang tells you to do something, then you claim that I was forced by this gang. So this cannot be the argument, because you have done these acts on your own accords, and that is the reason you will be held liable for them, and that is the reason you won't get the defense of 94. So no defense of 94 in this case. अब आ जाओ explanation 1 पे. Are you guys?
Sir, can you please repeat this example again?
हाँ जी. Suppose such a thing happens that A is an overzealous person. A is an overzealous person. He goes. There are these 5 ducats, B, C, D, E, and F. 1, 2, 3, 5 हो गए ना, 5 ducats. He goes to them and he tells them, he knows that these guys are ducats. He goes to them and he tells them that I am very good at lock picking. I am the best, and I am good with locks. And ultimately, he says that I want to be with you guys. You guys are so fun, etc., etc. So now one fine day, he goes along with them, and one fine day they want someone to break the lock. Okay, this is the lock. He wants to. A denies. A says that I will not break the lock. A denies. A says that I will not break the lock. So ultimately, in this case, B, C, D, and F, they compel him to break the lock. In this case, A cannot claim 94 as defense, because he himself has put himself in perils. आपने खुद ही जाके compulsion में डाल दिया है अपने आप को. So you yourself have put yourself in compulsion. That is the reason in this case 94 will not be a defense to you. Fine.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Put in that compulsion. तो इसके लिए 94 आपको डिफेंस नहीं मिलेगा. अब आ जाओ एक्सप्लेनेशन 1 पे. गो टू एक्सप्लेनेशन 1. ठीक है, एक्सप्लेनेशन 1 पे हो. A person who, of his own accord or by reason of threat being beaten, joins a gang of ducats, knowing their character, is not entitled to the benefit of this exception on the ground of his having been compelled by his associates to do anything that is the offense of law. exactly this example. ठीक है, ये clear है ना? Explanation 1 is exactly this example. Fine, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
अब आ जाओ explanation 2 पे. What explanation 2 says that a person seized by a gang of ducats, अब पकड़ के लाए, इसको पकड़ के लाए ये लोग, and forced by threat of instant death to do a thing which is an offense by law. For example, a smith compelled to take his tool and to force the door of a house for the ducats to enter. It is entitled to the benefit of this exception. अब इसमें explanation 1 और इसमें क्या, explanation 2 में क्या फर्क है? What is the difference? Tell me. हाँ जी, हाँ यश बताइए.
सर एक्सप्लेनेशन 1 में सर वो बाय हिमसेल्फ ऑन हिज ओन अकॉर्ड और सिर्फ एक थ्रेट कि वो मेरे को मारेंगे इसलिए आ रहा है, एंड सेकेंड एक्सप्लेनेशन में सर उसको फोर्स करके लाया जा रहा है जो स्मिथ है.
हाँ, so this is not of his own accord. Not of his own accord. खुद नहीं जा रहा बेचारा, उसको ये कर रहे हैं, फोर्स कर रहे हैं. ये ओवर जीलियसनेस डेफिनेटली. यस चेतन बताइए.
सर ऐसा हो सकता है ना कि जब उसको ला रहे हैं तब इंस्टेंट डेथ ना हो, लेकिन जो पर्टिकुलर ऑफेंस है ताला तोड़ने का उस टाइम पर होना चाहिए, मतलब तब जरूर कंपल्शन है.
हाँ तब जरूर है वो. हाँ वो दैट इज फाइन.
ओके, लेकिन जब उसको ला रहे हैं तब कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि इंस्टेंट डेथ होना चाहिए, वो किसी और तरीके से भी फोर्सफुली ला सकते हैं.
हाँ, तो पता भी कैसे रहेगा इंस्टेंट डेथ में? ठीक है, तो ये एक चीज होगी एक्सप्लेनेशन. दिस वाज एक्सप्लेनेशन 2. अब नाउ सी एसेंशियल्स. वैसे ब्रॉडली दीज आर द एसेंशियल्स. वैसे तो मैंने सेक्शंस को ब्रेक करके ऑलरेडी बता दिया, बट दीज आर द फ्यू एसेंशियल्स that are generally provided in many books. And the first is there has to be the apprehension of, the first essential is that there has to be an apprehension of threat. There has to be an apprehension of threat. And the apprehension of threat, and this apprehension of threat, which must be reasonable, willingly joining. Yes. Own accord here means willingly joining. Yes, Mariam. The apprehension of threat must be, the apprehension of threat must be reasonable and not voluntarily sought. Must be reasonable and not voluntarily sought. कैसे नहीं, आप जानबूझ के थ्रेट में जा रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. It must be reasonable and not voluntarily sought. This is the first essential. The second is that the threat must be, the threat, important element is that the threat must be instant, must be of instant nature. Threat must be of instant death. Instant death at the time of doing the act. At the time of doing the act. At the time of doing the act. ठीक है, so threat must be instant at the time of the doing. Threat must be confined to the person himself, not any other person. Threat must be confined to person himself. Confined to person himself. खुद कोई बंदे के ऊपर ही रहना चाहिए, not any other person. The threat must be confined to person himself. And last, अब देखो वैसे तो ये 3 में ही आपके essentials हैं. There is this additional essential that has been provided in KD Gore, but this essential is partly right and partly wrong. This essential is presence of threatener. Presence of threatener. Presence of threatener. The person who is threatening, uski presence. So presence of threatener. ठीक है. अब presence of threatener, this was actually added. This was added as an essential in draft code. The code which was the draft code which was framed, which was supposed to be passed as it is, but in the final draft this was not added. This was not added. So it is not necessary that at the crime scene the threatener is present. For example, if the threatener through phone, he tells the person that I will bomb you and there is a bomb under your house. If you move a little, the bomb will explode. Until and unless you do not you do not hack so and so computer. ये कंप्यूटर अगर आपने हैक नहीं किया तो बॉम्ब एक्सप्लोड हो जाए. Now here there is no presence of threatener, and in that case the person will be entitled to the defense of 94, because if you study 94, nowhere they have required the presence of the threatener, unlike many other sections जहाँ पर actually there is a requirement, there is an additional requirement of wherein the accused person has to be present. But in 94, the threatener, the presence is not a requirement. So that is the reason you cannot say that presence of threatener is an essential requirement. Now, why KD Gore has actually written this? What is the logic behind this? The logic behind this is, since the death is instant, so to cause instant death or to give a threat of instant death, a threatener has to be present. So that is the reason he has written this. But ideally, this is not the requirement under 94. So even if you write in the exam, it won't matter. But ideally, it is not a requirement under 94. 94 में अगर आप देखोगे कहीं पे भी, nowhere it has been written that that presence of a threatener is a necessity or it is important for that matter. ठीक है? Is this clear? Yes, Mariam.
सर आई जस्ट वांटेड टू आस्क सर, जरूरी है यहाँ पे कि फिजिकल प्रेजेंस की बात हो? सर इट कैन बी प्रेजेंट ओवर अ कॉल, सो दैट इज विल आल्सो बी कंसीडर्ड एज प्रेजेंस ऑफ थ्रेट.
See, वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि presence of threatener if it is by call or something, अगर वो लॉजिक से ये बोल रहे हैं then it is correct, then they are correct, but they haven't clarified ना which presence, whether it is physical presence or this presence.
ओके सर,
अगर
इफ वी राइट
the presence which you are talking about, अगर वो उनकी बात कर रहे हैं then they are right on that point. गलत नहीं है फिर.
ओके सर, थैंक
ठीक
यू.
है. So this is an additional requirement which I wouldn't mind if you write. नहीं भी लिखोगे तो भी मुझे प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Additional essential. But आपको हमेशा whenever you write this, you will have to again link it with the Bare Act. That why you are saying that the presence of threatener is necessary, because the requirement is to cause instant death. अगर आपने ये नहीं लिखा, सिर्फ लिख दिया presence of threatener, I will give you, in fact I will deduct marks. जो आपको यहाँ तक मिले हैं, मैं उनमें से एक मार्क डिडक्ट करूंगा, because I cannot see anywhere in the Bare Act. No? You are telling me how is it there? What is the interpretation on which you are relying? So the interpretation is instant death. ठीक है? Yes, यश बताइए. अच्छा, यस चेतन.
सर जो हमारे पास फ्रेज है इंस्टेंट डेथ होना चाहिए, तो उसमें थोड़ा मतलब अपने आप में इंप्लाइड है ये तो कि प्रेजेंस ऑफ थ्रेटनर होगी, मतलब चाहे फिजिकल हो या कंस्ट्रक्टिव हो.
हाँ, फिजिकल हो या कंस्ट्रक्टिव हो, दैट इज इम्प्लाइड इन दैट. तो इसलिए वो आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू राइट इट डाउन. इफ यू आर relying on presence of threatener, you will have to write it down. Fine.
नेसेसरीली हमको अलग से मेंशन, मतलब अगर नहीं भी करेंगे प्रेजेंस ऑफ थ्रेटनर तो इंस्टेंट डेथ वाले फ्रेज में वो आ रहा है.
तो आई वुडंट माइंड इट, बट इफ यू आर मेंशनिंग इट तो आई वुड बी हैप्पी. ऐसा कुछ मुझे प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं रहेगी, बट यू हैव टू मेंशन इंस्टेंट डेथ, दैट हाउ यू आर इम्प्लाइंग इट इन दैट सेंस. यस जतिन.
So this was in the draft code.
Yeah, this was in the draft code. This was there as in separate essential in the draft code. In the final draft, they did not include this term. ये उन्होंने include नहीं किया final draft में. ठीक है? So this is one thing. Clear है? Clear?
So you constructive threat, how can we understand this word constructive? What is included in this?
See, presence of threatener, when they are trying to say a presence of threatener, they mean that the threatener who is threatening, he must be present. Ab how can that presence be implied? One is physical present as it is at the crime scenes. He is pointing the gun at the other person. तो आप बोल रहे हो कि he is present. That is the reason he is present, and that is the reason he is threatening. The other thing can happen that he is actually calling you and he is telling you that that there are 4 to 5 snipers attached to the house. Now here he is not present. He is calling you and he is telling you that there are 2 snipers. Unless you don't hack this laptop or hack this bank account and transfer the money to me, I will not I will kill you unless you don't. So this is also an instant death. But here he himself is not present. He's not physically present. Not physically present, no? So in this case, the question that I'm trying to pose that will he be entitled to the benefit? The answer is yes, he will be entitled to benefit of 94. The reason because the 94, if you read the bare provision, it does nowhere mentions that the presence of the threatener is required. कहीं पर भी बताता नहीं है कि threatener की presence required है. It nowhere mentions it. But we are inferring that the presence of threatener is required by the term instant death. हम बोल रहे हैं कि क्योंकि वो instant death cause कर सकता है, तभी cause कर सकता है when this fellow is present. Now, of instant death में the presence can be physically, that is, he is catching a person and is threatening him that I will kill you, and the other is constructively through a phone call or something like that, where his presence is implied or construed. Fine?
Yes, sir.
So दोनों केसेस हो सकते हैं, बट मैं चाह रहा हूँ कि जब भी आप ये पॉइंट लिखो तो इंस्टेंट डेथ प्लीज मेंशन करना, और आप ये मेंशन नहीं करोगे तो द पॉइंट विल बी फ्यूटाइल. इट्स लाइक सिर्फ एक चीज बता दी मैंने और कुछ उसके आगे नहीं किया. चलिए अब आ जाइए सेक्शन 95. ओह सॉरी, this entire section is based on this maxim. The maxim is actus. 94 is based on this maxim. Actus ni invatio factus est nisi actus. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब है an act done against one's will. An act done against one's will cannot be said to be his act. Cannot be said to be his act. ठीक है? An act done against one's will cannot be said to be his act. Simple as that. Actus ni inventio factus est nisi actus. Clear है? Is this clear? ये मैक्सिम पर पूरा आपका सेक्शन 94 बेस्ड है. So the basis of section 94 is this maxim. आगे बढ़े राइफल पे. Yes, sir, Simran.
Sir, wasn't the situation already being covered somehow by the defense or private defense? मतलब उस exception में कहीं ना कहीं ये cover नहीं हो रहा था जिससे?
क्या exception में? ये
सर मतलब ये जो specifically section 94 add हुआ, सर ये वाला जैसे आपने एग्जांपल दिया वो स्मिथ वाले का कि जो लॉकर अपना तोड़ता है, तो सर ये वाला सिचुएशन प्राइवेट डिफेंस में नहीं आता?
नहीं आता. कैसे आया? प्राइवेट डिफेंस में आप डिफेंड कर सकते हो. यू कैन नॉट कॉज एनी अदर पर्सन हार्म. ना, यू कैन डिफेंड योरसेल्फ. यू कैन नॉट कॉज, एंड इवन इफ यू आर कॉजिंग डेथ टू एन इनोसेंट पर्सन, दैट इज टू डिफेंड योरसेल्फ. सो
तो सर मतलब इसमें ऐसा एक थ्रेट है एक बंदे के दिमाग में कि वो किसी और की डेथ कॉज कर रहा है. अच्छा ठीक है सर, ठीक है. हाँ जी सर, मैं कंफ्यूज हो रही हूँ.
वो नेचर ही अलग है ना, वो प्रिवेंटिव है.
हाँ जी.
ये प्रिवेंटिव है ही नहीं. इसमें एक ऑफेंस हो रहा है और वो बोल रहा है दबाव से ऑफेंस हो रहा है.
हाँ जी.
फर्क है ना दोनों में.
यस सर, यस.
वो तो प्रिवेंटिव है, वो तो उसका नेचर ही प्रिवेंटिव है, वो अलग है, कॉन्सेप्ट ही अलग है. ठीक है, अब आ जाओ सेक्शन 95 पे. सेक्शन 95 पे हो. सेक्शन 95 पे ट्रिफलिंग एक्ट्स. ट्रिफलिंग एक्ट्स पे आ जाओ. ट्रिफलिंग एक्ट्स एक बार 95 रीड करो. वेट, वो सब लोग 95 पे जल्दी बताओ.
यस सर.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Nothing is an offense by reason that it causes or that it is intended to cause or it is known to likely to cause any harm if that harm is so slight. ये important है. The harm is so slight the harm is so slight that no person of ordinary sense and temper would complain of such harm. So the point is that this act is itself such a petty act. इतना petty act है. Suppose you are pinching someone, ठीक है, आपने किसी को ऐसे ही सर पे ऐसे ही मार दिया, तो this is such a petty act that no person of ordinary prudence or ordinary sense will actually complain about this act. कोई normal आदमी नहीं complain करेगा. So in that case, you will get a defense of trifling act. You will get a defense that this act is a trifle. So the court will not hold you liable for this. So ये act ही ऐसा है, trifle है. Act ही इतना बड़ा नहीं है. It's just a petty act. So in that case, the court will leave you. Court will say that this is not an offense. Now, what is a trifle? That is an important act. They haven't stated what is a trifle. They have just stated that an act which won't affect a person of ordinary sense, which is slight. They have only stated that the harm is slight. And this slight harm will not affect a person. Will not affect a person of ordinary sense and temper. So the person who is of ordinary sense or temper, इसे affect नहीं करेगा ये. Simple as that. So they have only said that this harm is light and it won't affect a person of ordinary sense and temper. अभी तक इन्होंने ये चीज नहीं बताई. They haven't still stated that what exactly can be a trifle. कि exactly इन्होंने slight बता दिया. अब slight तो बहुत चीजें हो सकती हैं. Person to one person it can be slight, to other it cannot be. So they have only said these things. So now the thing is that here the court has to apply its mind. In every case, court has to apply its mind that whether this act is a trifle or not. Now here they have given a discretion to the court. The discretion is that court will actually examine that whether this act is a trifle or not in every case. So it will differ from every case and the court will examine whether this act is a trifle or not. Now what will be the test? Now the test will be a test of a reasonable person. Here we won't get into subjectivity. The test will be of a test of a reasonable person. Test ये रहेगी कि whether a reasonable person would, for a reasonable person, whether this act was slight or whether the reasonable person would have complained or not. क्या एक साधारण आदमी ये चीज की complain करता था या नहीं? That you will examine. Whether a reasonable person would have complained or not. If the reasonable person would not have complained, suppose एक reasonable person ने complain नहीं की होती, in that case you will give him the benefit of 95. ठीक है? मैंने जितना भी बोल दिया है, this was held in Vida Menis versus Yusuf Khan. All the things that I have stated and अभी मैं बताता हूँ. यहाँ तक clear हो ना?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है.
Yes,
Whatever I have said, this was actually held in Vida Menis versus Yusuf Khan. Versus Yusuf Khan.
Sir, वो MENEY?
Yes.
Okay.
Versus Yusuf Khan, which is 1966 Supreme Court. ठीक है. So the first thing that is that the Trifling Act will have no criminal liability. पहली चीज है Trifling Act, मतलब slight acts. Trifling Act will have no criminal liability. Trifling Act में कोई criminal liability नहीं होगी. दूसरी चीज अब ये समझो कि whenever we are living in the society, especially we are living in such a close society, especially Indian society, there is always mutual encroachment is expected. So it's not like you cannot say that there will not be a case of mutual encroachment. So mutual encroachment is expected. So now the problem is for every mutual encroachment, छोटा सा encroachment हो गया आपके यहाँ पर. For every mutual encroachment does not mean that you will go to court. अब वापस कोर्ट पे जाओगे and you will file a case against the other person, criminal case, and it will go on. No, we will see that whether this encroachment is slight in nature, court will examine that whether this whether this mutual encroachment is slight in nature. If we do not weigh, then most acts will be offenses. So here, to narrow down the definition of offense, narrow down the concept of offense, we have introduced this section 95. So you need to understand that whenever we are living in a society, mutual encroachment are expected. Now, what is section 95 doing? Section 95 is actually giving the discretion to the court in the cases of slight harms, in the cases of trifling harms. So then in that case, the court can actually acquit that person, or he can exonerate that person from any liability. Okay? So the thing that you need to keep in mind, that when a person is living in a society, when a person lives in a society, mutual encroachment may be expected. Mutual encroachment may be expected. Mutual encroachment may be expected. May be expected. May be expected. Expected. And everyone is to bear with this mutual encroachment. Everyone is to bear with this mutual encroachment. Is to bear with this mutual encroachment. With this mutual encroachment. Ab dekho, you go in a train. The train is overcrowded. Someone pushes you. Okay? You get angry at him. That why are you pushing me? And you go to police officer. You file a case that this fellow pushed me, and this happened. Fine. Now this is a mutual. Now since you are traveling in a train which is jam packed, mutual encroachment upon your rights is bound to happen. You cannot leave it. Now for every mutual encroachment, you cannot go to court. There are some mutual encroachments which you have to bear. कुछ mutual encroachment आपको बर्दाश्त करनी होगी. But इसी केस में, suppose if a woman is going in a train, and some fellow, he starts to touch her inappropriately. Now this is a mutual encroachment, but this is of not slight nature. You cannot call this mutual encroachment of slight nature. Now, since this mutual encroachment is not of slight nature, you cannot expect the woman to bear this mutual encroachment. She can go to court and she can file a criminal case against the person. So you need to understand that what is the mutual encroachment and how is that encroachment slight in nature. If the encroachment is slight in nature, so then obviously section 95 gives the discretion of the court and that person will be exonerated. So what does section 95 do? The third thing is section 95 gives discretion to the court. Section 95 gives discretion to the court. Gives discretion to court to act in cases of trifling act. To act in cases of trifling act. Cases of trifling act. Trifling act. Okay. Now, what will be the test? How will you examine that this act is a slight or not? Slight harm or not? So the test will be of a reasonable person. Test will be of a reasonable person. You will examine. Test will be of a reasonable person. You will examine that whether a reasonable person would have complained this act or not. Whether a reasonable person would have complained this act or not. Reasonable person would have complained about this act or not. Complained about this act or not. Complained of those. यहाँ तक लिख लिया आपने test of reasonable person?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Whether a reasonable person would have complained of the conduct in those circumstances. In those circumstances. ठीक है, उस circumstances में क्या एक reasonable person ने इस conduct की complaint की होगी. If the answer is no, till here you guys have written.
Yes, sir.
If the answer is no. If the answer is no. If no, then court will give benefit to the accused. Will give benefit to the accused. ठीक है? Is this clear? If no, then court will give benefit to the accused. अब on what maxim this is based? यहाँ तक clear हो ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
On what maxim it is based? It is based on de minimis. De minimis non cure lex. Non cure lex. Non curate lex. इसका मतलब है law does not take notice of trifles. Law does not take notice of trifles. Take notice of trifles. Fine? Clear है? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Wait, what is the time? Time है ना अपने पास?
8:24.
ठीक है, कर लेते हैं. We'll just do a slight thing and we'll call it a day. देखो, section 87 to 91, they incorporate volentia not the maxim of volentia not non-fit injuria. Volentia non-fit injuria. Non-fit injuria. इसका मतलब है कि a person who himself is consenting to an injury, if he is consenting to the injury, then he cannot actually accuse the other person for causing the injury. For example, if you go to play cricket, ball आपके यहाँ पर लग गई, ठीक है, you cannot file a case against this other fellow. You go to play boxing, you got hit by someone, you cannot file a case against the other fellow. आप उसको नहीं केस फाइल कर सकते उसके अगेंस्ट, ठीक है. सो it incorporates the principles of volentia non-fit injuria. ठीक है. अब इसमें 87 to 91 principles है. 87 is the first one, so we'll do 87 today and then we'll call it a day. हाँ जी, बताइए जतिन.
सर लास्ट टाइम आपने कहा था 87, 88 और 89 भी है, तो 91 भी है क्या उसमें? 90 and 91?
एक्चुअली 91 नहीं है, 87, 88, 89 तक है और 92 है. 89 और 92 तक. 91 दूसरा है, 87 to 89 है और 92 भी आ जाता है इसमें, बट 92 का दूसरा वो है. ठीक है. यस यस.
एंड सर ये वॉलंटी होगा ना सर? वॉलंटी नॉन फिट इंजरी.
वॉलेंशिया है ना, वॉलेंशिया नॉन फिट इंजरी. वॉलेंशिया नॉट फिट इंजरी.
ओके सर.
ठीक है. यस यस यश बताइए.
सर ये जो मैक्सिम है इसको हम ऐसे कह सकते हैं सर कि एक्ट डन विद द कंसेंट इज नॉट एन ऑफेंस.
हाँ, एन एक्ट डन विद द कंसेंट इज नॉट एन ऑफेंस, डेफिनेटली. अब आ जाओ 87 पे. अरे गाइस, 87 पे हो सब लोग?
यस सर.
Nothing which is not intended to cause death or grievous hurt, which is not known by the doer likely to cause death or grievous hurt. So not intending, not known, ठीक है, is an offense by reason of any harm which it may cause or be intended by the doer to cause to any person above 18 years of age. अब ये 18 years सर्कल कर दो क्योंकि बहुत कम जगह पर 18 years है यहाँ पर आईपीसी में. On very few places there is 18 years. So circle 18 years. To any person above 18 years who has given consent, whether express or implied, to suffer that harm, or by reason of any harm which it may known by the doer, likely to cause to any such person who has consented to take that risk. देखो कुछ ज्यादा नहीं है, they have just written it a lot. Nothing lot is there in this section. Simple है. The first thing is there has to be a consent. This consent may be express or they may be implied. ठीक है. The first thing is consent. This consent may be express or implied. Second is that the accused must not have the intention to cause death or grievous hurt. So the accused must not have intention. Accused must not have intention. Must not have intention to cause death. To cause death or grievous hurt. To cause death or grievous hurt. Intention death या grievous hurt cause करने का नहीं होना चाहिए. The accused did not have knowledge. The accused did not have knowledge. Accused did not have knowledge that death or grievous hurt will be caused. That death or grievous hurt will be caused. Death or grievous hurt will be caused. Accused के पास knowledge भी नहीं है कि death or grievous hurt will be caused. Consent must be by a person above 18 years of age. Consent must be given by a person above 18 years of age. Must be given by a person above 18 years of age. Above 18 years of age. 18 years of age. ठीक है. Simple ये बोलना चाह रहे हैं कि if you have consented to a harm and the person who is causing you harm, he is not intending to kill you, he is not intending to cause grievous hurt to you, he has no knowledge that the act will cause death or grievous hurt to you, and you are above 18 years of age. Now you cannot complain about that harm if that harm is caused to you. आप complain नहीं कर सकते उस harm में, अगर आपको harm हुआ है तो आप नहीं complain कर सकते उस case में if the harm has been caused to you. These are the simple things that you need to understand. अब थोड़ा analyze करते हैं. Let us analyze this case and let us understand it little closely. पहले तो see, consent express I understand. The person himself is consenting by his own words expressly, either by written document or orally. He is consenting himself कि I am ready to take up the harm. ठीक है. So he himself is consenting. For example, if you go to a surgery, you yourself are consenting that I am ready to whatever harm is caused to me, I am ready for that. Fine. So there is an express harm. Second, what will be the case of implied harm? For example, you buy a ticket and you go to a cricket match. You buy a ticket, you go to a cricket match. ठीक है. Now, the fact that you bought a ticket and you sat right near the ground, and what happens? The ball comes and hits you. Now you cannot sue the batsman, or you cannot file a criminal case against the batsman. Here, the moment you bought the ticket, that itself was an implied consent. The moment you take part in a lawful game, you decide to play cricket with someone. Now, if you are taking part in a lawful game, that is an implied consent that you might suffer some harm, which is in that game. For example, if you are going in boxing, you might suffer harm. If you are playing football, you might suffer harm. Now, this is lawful games in which you are taking part. Boxing हो गया, football हो गया, cricket हो गया. Now, as long as the person who is causing harm, he is obeying the rules of the game. As long as the person who is causing harm is obeying the rules of the game, he will get the defense of 87. Defense under section 87. For example, if in football, if he is causing you harm, he is obeying the rules of the game. Okay. Suppose such a thing happens, what does he do? In a football match, he suddenly strikes you and he starts punching you. Now here he has not obeyed the rules of the game. Here you can actually sue him. For example, someone like Zlatan Ibrahimovic starts punching the other footballer. So in that case, you can sue that fellow. Now he is not obeying the rules of the game. Same is the case with cricket. Now how many bouncers are allowed these days? One or two? Two bouncers or one? How many?
Two, sir.
अभी एक हो गया ना, अभी भी दो है. Now they have changed the rule, right? Now it's one, I believe. So the moment you are giving second bouncer, that you are disobeying. Test में दो हैं, अभी एक उसमें एक है. So the moment you are giving the second bouncer, that is, you are not disobeying. You are disobeying the rules of the game. So this defense is applicable to a sportsman as long as he's obeying the rules of the game. The moment he shifts away from the rules of the game, 87 defense will not be applied, because the person who is playing the game, he has impliedly consented to the rules of the game, but he hasn't consented anything outside the game. जो बंदा खेल रहा है गेम, उसने तो जो गेम में हो रहा है वही कंसेंट किया है. उसने थोड़े बाहर की चीज कंसेंट किया जो आप नई चीज आ गए. फॉर एग्जांपल इन Shaolin Soccer, what was that movie? Shaolin Soccer. They were hitting these guys with this plank cards and hammers. So that is not something which they had consented. They had impliedly consented. So that consent, they will the persons who are actually not obeying the rules will be held liable for any criminal offenses, or a criminal liability will be imposed upon them. They will not get the defense of 87. Fine. The recent picture of Tokyo man where Ravi Daria was bitten. तो सर ये भी इसमें आ जाएगा. हाँ जी. ठीक है. So this is, first is consent. Second is that the accused must not have the intention, and then he should not have the knowledge that it is causes grievous hurt. Consent would be given by 18 years. अब एक बार आ जाओ इस पे illustration पे. Are you guys on illustration? Then we'll close it. एक बार illustration पे आ जाओ. Illustration पे हो?
Yes.
A and Z agree to fence. Fences, they are boxing with each other for amusement. They agree to fence for amusement. The agreement implies the consent of each other to suffer any harm which in the course of such fencing may be caused without foul play. Without foul play. For example, boxing mein there is loose rule that you cannot hit any person below belt. Suppose Z decides to strike below belt and he keeps on striking. In that case, he will be held liable. He will not get the defense. So the thing is that without any foul play. हाँ, तलवार फेंसिंग तलवार को बोलते हैं, मतलब वो वाली, बट बॉक्सिंग भी मान लो उसमें. So A and Z of such fencing may be caused without foul play. A while playing fairly hurts Z. A commits no offense. So इसमें no offense. So if he is playing fairly and he causes hurts, then no offense. ठीक है? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
तो ये हो गया 87 मार्क. कल 88 करेंगे, 88 89 हो जाएगा. Tomorrow we'll be done with voluntary non-fit injury. Yes, इशिता बताइए.
सर एक क्वेश्चन आया था एचजेएस में, वो पलानी गॉन्डन वाला जो केस है ना, उसके फैक्ट्स थे, मतलब
उसमें कल्पेबल होमोसाइड रहेगा, बिकॉज हरियाणा के पास्ट ईयर पेपर्स और एमपी में आप कल्पेबल होमोसाइड डालोगे, बाकी कोई स्टेट में आएगा तो आप उसको हर्ट में डालोगे. ठीक है,
इसमें तो हेल्ड हुआ था ग्रीवियस हर्ट के लिए लायबल होगा.
ग्रीवियस हर्ट के लिए लायबल हुआ था, बट उसके बाद एक केस आया सारथी वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ एमपी. मैंने प्रीवियस बैच को पढ़ाया, अभी आपको ही पढ़ाऊंगा.
ओके सर.
उसमें उन्होंने 3 गाइडलाइंस बताई हैं ऐसे केस में कब कैसे डील करोगे. तो इसलिए कभी भी ये अगर सेम एमसीक्यू, सिमिलर एमसीक्यू अगर किसी भी स्टेट में आए, अगर हरियाणा में आए तो यू विल मार्क कल्पेबल होमोसाइड, एमपी में आए यू विल मार्क कल्पेबल होमोसाइड, और किसी स्टेट में आए देन यू कैन गो फॉर then you can go for grievous hurt or hurt as the nature may be. देखो पल्लनी गोल्डन के फैक्ट्स थे, वो क्या था उसका नाम, क्या मारता क्या है
सर पे स्ट्राइक करता है, पता
वो
नहीं.
वो बड़ी चीज से मारता है. व्हाट इज द नेम? हाँ, वो बड़ी चीज से मारता है, बहुत बड़ी चीज से मारता है. what is this thing, वो कुछ there is a name, he strikes with a big thing, so that is the reason उस केस में हम grievous hurt डालते हैं. इस केस में वो चीज, ये ऑफेंस में इसमें वो चीज नहीं मेंशन की थी, उसमें बोला था कि सिर्फ ही इज हिटिंग, उसने वेपन नहीं बताया. सो इस केस में यू विल हेल्ड हिम फॉर हर्ट. आपको पता नहीं ना कि क्या क्या चीज से मारा है, क्या फ्रैक्चर है या ये नहीं बताया. सो अगर और किसी स्टेट में आएगा तो ऐसा ही अगर एमसीक्यू आया तो हर्ट डालोगे. बट अगर ये हरियाणा और एमपी में आएगा तो आप कल्पेबल होमोसाइड डालोगे. रवीना राइट्स दैट प्रीवियस पेपर में आया था, मैं बताता हूँ ना, 2017 में आया था, उसमें कल्पेबल होमोसाइड है आंसर. उसमें दे हैवंट करेक्टेड. बहुत लोगों ने ऑब्जेक्शन डाली थी. आई वाज वन ऑफ द पर्संस हु एक्चुअली पुट द ऑब्जेक्शन. उन्होंने कल्पेबल होमोसाइड आंसर रखा है सर. बट व्हाई मैं बताता हूँ ना रीजन. बिकॉज दे हैव अ केस इन एमपी, सारथी वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ एमपी में ही ये हेल्ड हुआ था कि 3 कंडीशंस हैं उसमें. 3 केसेस में आप अलग तरह से इसको व्यू करोगे. वो मैं बताऊंगा जब व्हेन वी डू मर्डर, तब मैं बताऊंगा. ये स्पेसिफिकली इसी पे डील करूंगा. ठीक है. या ही हर्ट यूजिंग प्लोशेयर. प्लोशेयर यूज किया था, इसके लिए उसको ग्रीवियस हर्ट के लिए डाला था. इसमें प्लोशेयर नहीं था. समझ रहे हो आप इशिता?
यस सर.
प्लोशेयर वो होता है क्या, बड़ी सी चीज होती है, तो उससे मारा था, इसलिए आप उसको नहीं हेल्ड लाते.
ओके सर. सर इसमें बहुत कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है. समवेयर आई मार्क कल्पेबल होमिसाइड, तो आंसर में वो ग्रीवियस हर्ट दिया हुआ होता है, तो आई मार्क ग्रीवियस हर्ट.
हाँ, तो अगर सेम फैक्ट्स है, अगर प्लोशेयर लिखा है आपका, अगर प्लोशेयर लिखा है, सेम लिखा है ना, तो आप ग्रीवियस हर्ट उसको डाल देना. प्लोशेयर ही लिखा है उसको ग्रीवियस हर्ट डाल देना. बट अगर सिंपल लिखा है, मतलब ऐसे मार रहा है, तो आप उसको हर्ट डाल देना. वैसे होता है, मैं बताता हूँ.
प्लोशेयर होगा तो ग्रीवियस हर्ट होगा.
प्लोशेयर होगा तो ग्रीवियस हर्ट होगा. प्लोशेयर एज इट इज फैक्ट्स में ना. बट
अच्छा,
हरियाणा में एनीवेज, हरियाणा में कुछ भी लिखा हो कल्पेबल
कल्पेबल
होगा.
होमिसाइड होगा. ओके.
हरियाणा में कुछ भी, दूसरे स्टेट्स के बारे में बता रहा हूँ.
ओके सर.
ठीक है, चलिए, बाय गाइस.
थैंक यू सर.
Thank you, sir.
बाय गाइस.
थैंक यू सर.
मैंने इनको बताया था सार्थक वालों को, तब ये लोग भी शॉक हो गए थे कि अलग स्टेट्स में